Hello, and welcome to my 737 project. A few folks have asked for a brief walk around, so I thought I'd fill that request. We'll start at the right side. I have temporarily set up here a small workstation which will recently run the simulation. And then as we pan to the right, we have the right edge of the ear for the collimated display mirror. And looking to the top, you'll see the frame or the structure that holds the projection screen, which is approximately 10 feet in diameter and built up by a series of ribs. I reduced the size of the structure quite a bit from what Gene had originally designed in order to save weight. We also suspended the front portion of the projection screen to remove the forward arms to allow easier hanging and placement of the mylar. The screen itself runs along the edge of the top of the 737 windows. Right now we have the bonnet or the canopy top off of the cabin itself, and I'll probably put those in quite a bit later. One thing you have to be careful of, or cognizant of if you will, is placement of the projection screen. In order to properly place it, we struck a line, or placed a line, which runs 15.17 inches back from the edge where the rounded ears start, and then from the top of that line we dropped a vertical line with a weight on it, and where those lines touch is where the edge of the rear of the screen frame is 15.17 inches. At the moment we have 3 projectors installed. These are temporary short throw units that we're using, and we'll probably replace those with high definition theater quality 1080p projectors at some point down the road. The space you see between the rear of the cabin and the bottom edge of the screen, or projection screen, mirror, is probably 2, maybe 1.5 foot back from where it will be when it's in its final position. The cabin itself is on a platform that sits approximately 16 inches off the floor and has casters which will lock when we roll the cabin into position. The unit is quite heavy, but it does roll fairly quite smoothly. And then in the rear you'll see I have quite a bit of room to where I can move the unit back to work on it from the front. Also, when we're working on the mirror itself, we're placing the projectors to give us a little more room to work with. And then finally, coming around to the back, we spent some time and effort to make sure we had a good seal. And what we did there was we basically redesigned Gene's design to insert the panels between the ribs as opposed to on top of the ribs. And what we did that was we basically built a small edge inside and recessed it about I think 3/8 to a quarter, I think it was 3/8 of an inch back from the edge of the rim of the rib, and then we recut the panel slightly to fit inside that space. And then once they were installed, we did a lot of caulking along the edges there. We had a nice 90-degree angle to hold the cock. It made for a very good seal. And then finally over here you'll see the exhaust port, which is 1.5 inch ABS, and also the DB9 connector, which holds the optical sensor inside and sets the position for the mirror. And you can see this coming down. We have a very small 1 gallon pump, which is more than adequate to draw down the mirror. And here you see the small controller that Wayne designed that we use to control the speed of the pump and maintain the mylar position in the collimated location or depth of draw. Okay, that's pretty much it. There's really not a whole lot more to see. You can look back into the corner here if you care to. We have the mirror. The room itself is 17 by 22. It doesn't leave a whole lot of room, as the mirror, or the structure itself, is 17 feet wide and about 13.5 feet deep. So you really don't have a lot of room to maneuver, but we wanted to basically to show you, actually that corner back there can be accessed by crawling underneath the frame. Okay, that's pretty much it. Hope you've enjoyed this brief walkthrough. As I said to many people, folks in the past, if you're in the Colorado Springs area and care to come by and visit the system, it's always a work in progress, but you're more than welcome. We'll find some time, possibly to fly. You may just be amazed by the process. I'm surprised we were able to do this. Thanks again for watching, and we'll probably have some videos down in the future when we get the cockpit better completed and flying.